see in your airport, or Edmond, one or the other.
Right.
There's a life cycle cost of that we say that we try to balance what we can afford and what's the best bang for the buck on the district side. Because whether we like it or not, and this is every district, no one tears down anything. Unless it falls down by itself. We're in Oklahoma. Now, if we go to Texas, that's something different. In Oklahoma, that high school, yes, 15 years old, and by the way, it'll be there for another 50 years.
I wouldn't say that, because we're in Oklahoma, and we have to.
Well, they would get insurance.
Natural disaster.
But the balance of that, so we don't have to keep redoing everything in there. Now, you can go paint stuff and change colors, but we try to balance wear and tear and quality of products. Because again, it just costs more to wait 5 years. So we try to balance that. So I'm aware of, let me back up. My kids at Deer Creek, we can build classrooms left and right, and my taxes are higher than everyone's around here. So I hate all that stuff. But I do value the fact that when they build it, it's gonna last at least long enough that we don't have to keep replacing.
That's understandable.
So we will look at that for the district, and we value those. That's one of the things when we do the high school. As we're getting prices now, we're trying to figure out what something's gonna price, right? 6 months, a year from now, which no one in here can tell what gas prices are, but you expect us to estimate, right? We adjust that based on some of that, like we might do a more efficient pattern on the floor, or we not do a pattern at all, just to save money. So we do try to stay in that realm.
So if you do a standard basic floor with just that requires stripping wax, for instance, okay? That floor is gonna last for years and years if it's properly maintained with stripping wax. Have to work in that a little bit.
We've done cost analysis on that too. There's a cost out there where, if they employ it themselves, which is what used to happen with janitors, and then some people hired out because you have those people doing maintenance other places. There's a cost analysis on that to hit the balance. But yeah, I agree.
Make the bad kids mop. I did it.
The teachers have cleaned the buildings before.
Right.
Because there was a time when we could not get janitors.
So did any of y'all know who Hilda is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Excellent person.
Yes.
Guess who used to mop floors and pick up trash? Because I was a bad kid in school. Okay? So take advantage of that child labor.
There's a little bit more rules now.
Well, listen, I ain't that old, all right? So,
Yeah.
But you asked about land a while ago. Inside the red box is land. The pipeline runs right through here.
right.
You can't go 50 feet on either side of it. So this part of the land that's ours is useless.
Yep.
So you gotta go 50 feet side of the pipeline, and when the pipeline gets to right here, it cuts across the corner going that way. But that's about 22 acres.
And that's all we
That's
have.
all we got.
Okay.
And it comes down this fence line right here. You got this housing addition here. It'll go this way. All we have on this side of the road goes right around the school.
So whoever owns this stuff to the south, we need to
And then it
pass
goes,
and leave it to us.
we do have
Most of it
this.
to the south belongs to.
I take that back. We got 32 acres because we own this 10 acres right here.
Okay.
This is 22, this is 10.
Right. So y'all own the other 10 to the west of that, or not?
No, well, there's a fence line running right here, so it's not as wide, it's about half as wide.
Okay.
So it's basically where you see this practice field, that parking lot, and these trees.
Okay.
To add to your list up there, teaching strategies and changing district rules in whatever way you can to make space, whether that be different electives, less electives, those sorts of things, especially when it comes to athletics.
What was the last one?
What do you
Change
call
electives.
it? Yeah,
Change
like
electives.
the district rules as far as electives go.
Is there a
especially when it
legal law? I
rolls
don't
around.
know as
With
far as how
electives,
many.
If we offer less types of classes, it still doesn't lower how many kids
No,
we have
but
in.
if you offer less types of athletics counting towards basically phys ed instead of just having a phys ed class the whole time, that would free up a lot of stuff, a lot of room there, because the kids would just be using the gym space. And then your
So
extracurricular things like cheerleading, football, track, whatever, you name it, is all after school activities on their own They're, you know, whether you want them to count towards credits or not is up to you, but it should be on their own. And not
Well,
count
the
towards
good thing
school.
about it is when those kids are outside running around, there's other kids in those classrooms already, like for different hours. So that's what I'm saying, like it doesn't lower our number of kids in the district by taking
No, but
electives.
it lowers the amount of space that you need at the school for kids. And that space can be opened up to be used for classrooms.
The state law requires us to have so many minutes of PE
Right.
in
Yeah.
elementary.
Well, for instance, I think what Mike's trying to get at is kind of what I'm on the same boat with. If you go back to those 4 things that you were talking about, the, I can't
Locker
remember.
rooms and
Yeah, the locker rooms and the, whatever it was for the other part of that.
multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose room, there you go. How many classrooms can you put in that multi-purpose room instead of a multi-purpose room? How many classrooms can you put in this locker room instead of locker rooms?
That's why we're here tonight, to look at other options,
Right.
because that wasn't necessarily the best.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying, like, if we have that same price tag, but we as a community see that, okay, we're not talking about cheerleading here, we're not talking about football, baseball, basketball, we're talking about core education. We don't need a locker room in a core education place. Math kids don't need lockers in their classroom. They don't need a multi-purpose area in their classroom. They need to learn about math. So instead of structuring that bond in a manner where you have multi-purpose room and the locker room, try structuring that bond again with a lower price tag, hopefully. Try structuring that bond where the school's gonna commit to utilizing 100% of that bond money to build classrooms.
I've tried to address this a couple times on that 85%, 15. Okay, we have never, since I've been here, I can't speak to anybody before me, because I know what happened before me with other people. With me, I've never taken that 15% off the top. I finished the project and then seen what money I had left over before I did anything else.
Right.
And it's never been 15%.
And that's understandable. But for me, it doesn't matter if it's 5%, 15%.
I just wanna get that we're not taking that off the
But
top.
you would rather see that go to something educational versus athletic.
I would rather see that go to another classroom rather than a dugout. Okay?
Bond money didn't pay for the dugouts.
I don't know what paid for what.
Just
So-
in general.
It's
But
just, it's general
Look
Look
statement.
at, if you look at the appearance of things, every time we have a bond, something new and fancy for the sports comes up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the appearance. Whether or not bond money pays for that, that is the appearance. I was pissed when I seen that football field. Oh, I was enraged when I seen that football field.
So,
Because that money should have been spent on classrooms.
just a quick question to clear things up.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you posted pictures on Facebook, but never said where the money came from.
For what?
The truck for the band, where'd the money come from for that?
Come from our general fund.
And the wrap for it, and the fuel for that, and then the driver for that, and the insurance for that?
Driver, you don't have to have a CDL.
No, but you have to have somebody drive it.
The band director drives.
Why can't the band director drive a bus with kids in it with band equipment in it like it always was? Why
Because
do we
you go
have
from
to have
taking
that
one,
extra
you go,
expense?
if you load the band equipment that we use at shows and stuff on the bus, you go from taking 1 to 4 with a full trailer. Because when you fill half the band up, bus up with band equipment, you only got room for 20 kids.
What are you taking on a band bus that won't fit on a bus?
Drums, I mean,
All the-
you can't stack
Oh,
instruments.
Cases.
All the
I
percussion.
personally rented the largest U-Haul they make and filled it to the brim and our band trailer.
See, that's something that needs to be looked at too. Perhaps these
Why?
extracurricular things are too large, and they're taking up more money.
Okay, that's, I mean, Mike, and I can't agree with all that, and we've talked about that. And that's, I mean, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. And that comes to the last issue though, for me, because, I mean, we're already over time is, is this and I'm not meaning this demeaning to anybody, if I don't get what I want, am I done supporting the school? Or is there compromise?
Well, the thing is that you're starting with the premise of, we deserve the money, and how is it okay for you to give it to us? Instead of starting with the premise of, we've tried everything possible before asking you for the money, and you haven't done that.
In your opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, in your opinion, and that's fine, you can have your opinion, but I can have mine. I've scrimped and saved for 13 years to get some of the stuff we've had.
And I think Ms. Andrade's story of how she's like reduced.
And you not liking it's okay, that's your right. You have the right to vote no. You have and that's okay. But my job from my 5 bosses is to do what's best for our students and our teachers, and that's what I'm doing. And that's what we'll present. We're trying to get input from everybody because we want to hear everybody. But to say no, we're going to stop doing stuff, in my opinion, is asinine. Because we're here for kids.
Well, I'm here for the kids too.
No, you're not. From what you're saying, you're not.
To learn,
You're
not.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of interrupt because it's kind of getting a little heated conversation. Let's try and keep it.
We have,
Some of this stuff is optional, highly
and those
optional.
kids don't have to do it. And we're never gonna be Tuttle with their fancy football fields.
Exactly.
We're never gonna be Newcastle with their
Everything.
insane everything.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just not. But
They want
we're taking away the football field. You can't put classrooms out there.
it. I didn't say take it.
But
I mean,
we're trying to support the students
We
we
need
already
the gym
have.
for several
We're not
things
trying to
besides just
build
basketball.
more big stuff.
It's used for award assemblies.
We
it's
have-
used for-
More than it's.
So one of the examples is the gym. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 basketball teams. 12 basketball teams. That's not counting when the community comes up and uses the gym for Little League. So we're not saying this is ours and you're not going to touch it. There are more Little League games that go on, or just as many Little League games go in a week than there are school games. And we allow, I mean, that's something that we're contributing to the community.
So, how much of the money that comes in from the sports can go into utilizing for building funds?
Well, the sport money, because I don't give sports money, all their gate money, they keep it so they can self-fund themselves where I don't have to give them money.
So none of the school
The
money.
only thing I buy for sports is uniforms, because they're outrageously priced and they can't afford that off of their gate money. They pay for the officials off their gate money, they pay for their equipment off their gate money,
Bus gas.
they pay for bus gas. I mean, so the only thing that I'm paying for the sports is their uniforms.
Okay,
Everything else is that goes back into their program so they can spend. And you got about 7 booster clubs out here that they give money to the sports.
how much do those uniforms cost per year?
Depends on the sport.
Okay,
When you go to football, you're looking at $25,000 for a basic uniform, no
And
special.
they don't get new ones every year.
No,
Right.
they're on a 4-year cycle,
right,
4 to 5 year
I
cycle.
think what he's asking is, the fund that comes out of, can we use that to build a new school?
No, because it's out general.
It's a different fund. We have
So-
to use
A different
certain
account
funds for
altogether.
certain things.
The only fund that's not bond issue that we can use on buildings without special permission, and I'm supposed to go to the state board meeting on Thursday to get special permission to use part of our general fund on the portables that we're bringing in this summer to buy them, but is the building fund. And our building fund per year is less than $1 million a year as far as revenue coming in.
Does that roll over or is that?
You can, but
Reset.
that's also, that's how we gotta pay for all the maintenance, stripping and waxing. That's how we gotta, that goes to pay to mow the yards, all the lawn mowers, all the stuff that we do to maintain the school. That's what that budget's for.
Anywhere close to what we're.
The money I'm building up out of that fund right now is to hopefully get rid of the sewer plant on the corner and tap into Tuttle sewer, because that's gonna be long-term more efficient for us. But I gotta save money up to do it, because you either gotta do it in a bond, or you gotta do it out of the building fund.
with the sewer thing,
Mhm.
the only thing that I can say about that, I'll support you 100% getting rid of that, so long as Tuttle doesn't try to annex which they can't, but so long as they don't try to force people out here to use their sewer system.
No,
So-
the way we've set it up with them is we're paying for the line, possibly paying for the line if it goes through, building a lift station, they take it over, but it's not gonna be necessary, it's not gonna be residential use.
Right.
Because of where they're running it. They can't run.
They can't force us to tap into it because we're not within their city limits.
Yeah.
Right.
We're a county and they can't make us do
Yeah.
that.
I'll give it time.
Cause they're gonna run it,
Every
run it right up the road, Mustang Road all the way to where they have easement rights on Highway 4.
Right.
Come out the Highway 4 and go straight up to Highway 4, which doesn't really impact our district for maybe a mile and a half.
But
Over
unfortunately, it's
4.5
not an
miles.
exaggeration that we need the bond to do any kind of improvement as far as adding classes, things like that.
And I think the biggest thing is keeping sports completely off of it.
And
Does
you guys
it-
would do like music, like choir, band, and with the sports too? I was just kind of curious how you talk about, and art, you know, those other that are more, to me, those are learning, yeah, they're not as athletic as they are.
Right, they're not as much athletic, but if the sole core idea is to educate the future of our kids, then we need to stick to the core education. Okay, art's great. I did art with Mr. Smiley, R.I.P.
I mean, our
He
music,
used to send me to Pine Tree Grocery, I'm dating myself here, to pick up beef sticks. Do anybody that knew, that man he could devour some beef
but
sticks.
I think that, I mean, not adding any kind of athletics to the
Right.
bond is understandable. Cause I mean,
Well, and then
I've
usually,
been at that point once in my life too, we've given a lot to athletics, it's time to do something. So I mean, I completely understand that.
and as far as like
I mean, and
maintenance-
bringing the price tag down.
Right, and as far as like property maintenance and things like that, why not reach out to some of the parents? I mean, have you reached out to some of the parents, see if they'll volunteer to bring a lawnmower up here?
Okay, I already
We
did the
can't
garden
argue
some
people
kids.
Right.
So I.
But I mean, there's a lot of people out in the community that would probably more than likely, it's not as much as it used to be, but there's still people out here that will volunteer. So you don't have to pay them nothing.
I've never turned anybody down,
Right.
but I,
Well, and I have health issues, otherwise I would come in and help too, but as much as I can. But I've had to lay down 2 careers in law enforcement and fire department due to my health that I've been dealing with for 10 years and I can't figure out. So for me, a new bond issue extends my taxes that I'm already struggling to pay because I can't work. Alright, the only reason that I'm able to sit here and speak is because I'm on medication right now that allows me to function.
the tax issue, I get it. But I don't have another way.
Right,
If you look at the big picture, the restructuring, let's say restructuring the current buildings. Lower teaching strategies, less electives. Less electives is gonna be, we're required by the state to have so many credits, and we can only have so many in English, math, science, and social studies. I mean, or there's nowhere around that. But the other stuff that's mentioned, yes, is all doable, but it's a Band-Aid.
right.
And it will never fix the big problem of student growth.
Well, and that's the thing, I mean, even if we build a 31-room high school, it's still just a
Eventually,
Band-Aid.
it's gonna be full.
Right, I mean, it's still a Band-Aid.
It's a longer.
It's a longer Band-Aid, the sticky lasts longer and hurts worse if you rip it off too soon. But it's still a Band-Aid at the end of the day. So for me, a cheaper Band-Aid, like I tell people this all the time, I'm a ham radio operator too. So if I go out, I can spend $1,000 on a fancy Motorola radio. That'll do the exact same thing that this $25 Bofang Chinese radio will do on Amazon.
Mhm.
Is the Motorola gonna last longer? Maybe. I don't know, I ain't broke one of my Bofangs yet, but if I do break that radio, I can buy a lot of those radios.
Okay, but here's another logic then, and correct me if I'm understanding this wrong. So you buy this radio that's cheaper, that maybe lasts you a year, but in a year, it's 10% higher.
Okay?
And then in another year, it's gone up another, maybe 20%, things like that. So I mean, that's what I asked earlier, is it better to have a cheaper, shorter Band-Aid or a higher, longer Band-Aid? What way would the community prefer? I mean, that's the ultimate question, is what's the best way to help get the community on board?
Honestly, it's kind of at a standstill, because at the end of the day, it's both still a Band-Aid.
Exactly,
And
one's
that's
just
the
longer than
part-
the other.
Right, that's the part that's
I
gonna
mean-
be the hardest thing to convince the community. Like, for instance, for me, I would rather see, and this is just an example, I would rather see a $200 million bond come across. That's gonna permanently build everything we can build on this school until it can't be built on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
With a guarantee that my property taxes are gonna go down for my kids, cause I ain't gonna be alive if we pass a bond that high. But to where my kids can afford to keep my property,
Mm-hmm.
the place that I grew up at.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I completely get that. Unfortunately, you're a unicorn. Not gonna lie, you're a unicorn. And we all saw it posted all over Facebook on the last one. But, I mean, eventually, ultimately, that's going to have to happen.
Mhm.
Because
Something like.
if we add on, like, option 2, we've locked out of one school already. So what happens when they need more space? You know, I mean, we're Band-Aiding it, and it's a good Band-Aid for a short-term problem.
Mhm.
But long-term, eventually, there's going to have to be a new building built. It's just a matter of when. And that, I mean, that is unfortunately the truth.
And the
Right.
the problem with property taxes is continuing to go up.
Oh, yeah,
The property,
Yeah.
construction prices continue to go up.
everything's
I
going
mean,
up.
everything keeps going up. I mean, my tomatoes went up the other day.
Right,
I mean,
Well,
that's why
that's
I'm growing
because-
them myself.
that's because we all, sheeple keep buying the same stuff, and the demand is there, so they're gonna keep raising the price. But,
That and half of our stuff comes from Mexico now,
Exactly.
but anyway.
so,
But I mean, like, as a community, yeah, you would like to see just the big one come through, and then that would cover us for a long, long time.
well,
That's not
don't
how
get me
most of the
wrong,
people
I
feel.
really don't wanna see that.
Well, no one wants to see it. I mean,
But,
my stomach ached with Deer Creek, and I don't even live there.
right,
I mean,
I think finding the balance of the two, and from our professional side of things, yeah, I wish I could do that too.
and that's where we.
I always tell superintendents that the way to solve something, at least in rural districts, you guys aren't rural anymore, but,
we like to think we are.
I know, in rural districts, I'm like, you're too
We're
nice.
still
Like,
trying.
we should run people off so they don't build out here.
Agreed.
But it's just not possible. If you could do that, it'd be great. But I try to balance the two, of growth that we know is coming and not having to come back out to the district every 4 years. Because two things happen. I wanna finish what we promised to do. That would be the first thing. And I hate promising, and then we open it up, and by the way, now that you're in here, by the way, we're now need another bond issue. We try not to have that happen. Blanchard, I can name districts that that's happened, because sometimes Deer Creek hasn't happened, because they're growing faster than, they get their money after the houses, right? They didn't have any commercial, so you get the kids, then you get the money, so they can't build fast enough. They're full the day they move in, it doesn't really make a difference what they do. You're getting that way, we're just trying to get you out 8 to 10 years. Now, if everybody starts, not that I discourage hospitals or anybody else, but there's a lot of things that happen and you make it worse. And then I hate to say, you could come back here earlier. I don't hope for that, but you can only estimate based on what we know. And the
Right.
growth. And you can do that growth chart back 20 years, by the way. I mean, it's still the same, even though we like to think we're not growing.
So at what point do we fill the land that the school owns to a point where we can no longer expand?
You're getting close if we build a new high school on that land.
You're gonna run into, just like, you're gonna run into other districts like Moore, Deer Creek, all those where they have life.
Right, where are they having to build up?
Or buy more land.
Or buy more land.
Offsite. And it's
So-
Usually they move out and start spreading apart so they get more efficiencies, but.
Right, well, and I mean, again, at the end of the day, the bond issues are gonna keep coming. No matter what we build today, they're gonna keep coming. Yeah, it's gonna be cheaper today than it's gonna be tomorrow. And we understand that. I understand that from an opposing side of it. The price tag is where the opposition comes into play, a lot for me. Because as y'all said, property taxes continue to go up. I've got a home with 5 acres sitting here that was, you know, built in 1981. My dad built a house. He can't build another one. He's in Tuttle Cemetery. I want my kids to be able to have that house. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, however long I live, after I'm gone.
Is there a reason we can't go up on the buildings?
Constructions.
On
Is it
the
more-
current buildings,
Yeah,
You can go, on the existing building, no. On a new building, you could go.
okay, so it
Well-
wouldn't be like beneficial price-wise kind of thing to go up
There's a-
on.
well, they weren't, the current buildings weren't built to go up.
Okay,
A new building, you gain some efficiencies, but we're not big enough to gain that efficiency yet, is what I would say.
And think about our Shawnee house too.
When you get to build bigger structures like a Moore or Norm, some of those go up because you can gain some efficiencies when you're building enough square footage. But if not, it's just not worth it. And you run into some other problems with I say efficiencies from a construction side. You need to have a bunch on different floors because then you have management issues. You want kids running around on the second floor, you have offices up there where no one wants to put them off, you get some management issues, so. You can do it, but it's probably not worth it.
I just know when I went to high school, our high school was a 2-story
Yeah.
high school. So I didn't know if that was an option or if it just,
From the city.
Putnam City.
Oklahoma City has a lot of 2 stories, a lot of them.
Thankfully, she was easy to convert to country club.
Okay, well, I have to go to, I'm late.
The last thing I wanna say is when we built that high school, in 2011 is when it was completed.
2010.
The bond was $9 million. And look, in just in 15 years, how much has gone up? If we Band-Aid this to last 3 years, we're still going to be spending more money because we're gonna have to have another building. So we gotta look at how much we're gonna Band-Aid and how much we're gonna lose with the construction continuing to go up in 5 years. Like, it's monumental how much construction has gone up.
And this proposal, when we did that back in February, was to try to get as far ahead as the growth as we could, so we didn't have to ask quickly, like we did with these last 2. Because we've had these last 2 rooms, this last bond issue, it's been 2 years and we're asking again, and I don't wanna do that. But we're out of room.
So try to focus on that number.
What-
Look at the
The
top
grand
number.
total
The
number.
grand total. So, for instance, get rid of the fancy architect stuff. Okay? When I look at that high school up there, I'm like, oh, look, at least we got a fancy, school. It's kind of like our bridges. We got fancy bridges, crappy roads. But get rid of the fancy. If we're gonna talk about safety, coming from a law enforcement perspective, is any of the glass in the front of that high school bulletproof?
We put this film on the front of it,
There's what?
film on the front.
Well, it stopped 30-06 or 300 Whitman.
Probably not.
Right.
I mean, how about,
But you can't afford that glass either, there are other schools would do it.
Right,
There's your
but
issue.
is it cheaper to put a solid barrier there than a window? Look at different things. This is where you're not gonna like me.
No, I think, I'm gonna say we look at those things, because I'm with you. It's a balance, like, I can put bulletproof glass on there, and someone's gonna come out and talk about okay, it's not that good, right? It's a balance, so what do we wanna do? Are we trying to slow down? If you want a bulletproof, hey man, I'll put it in there, and I will send you the bill, and it will be really expensive. So to me, again, it's like the flooring. We have to try and balance. A wall and a window, from a cost standpoint, is somewhat trivial. The film is an easy way that's fairly cost efficient. It will stop small caliber stuff, but what it does more often is stop someone from coming and breaking the window because the doors are locked. If it slows them down enough, that's what we want, so we can get our kids in a safe place, we can get security over. So it's a balance again, right? So to me, we're gonna look at all of that. As an architect, I don't care what district we're in, we're looking for efficiencies. All the efficiencies that you're talking about, all of those, we will look through all of that, no matter what. Every single time.
So let's cut the fancy. And this is just from my perspective.
Right.
Let's cut out the fancy stuff. If we gotta go back to metal buildings, so be it. Make that price tag low. because that's where you're gonna garner more support. People out here see $76 million and they're like, ugh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out here that can't afford that.
So,
But I also,
Do remember that bond issue that we did for the high school, not something, well, it failed the first time, and it failed because they said, do not build another metal building out here. And we have to do it again because everyone's right, because we did a metal building, just like you're talking about, and it failed, and everyone complained, and it went back. Why it's brick now? It's not because we said we wanted to do brick, it's because that was the only way it was gonna pass. That's how it got to be brick.
What bond was that?
in 2008.
Do you have the record, of, like the way that bond was worded and everything? Because wording means everything.
Well, what goes on the ballot is legal. The bond company puts what's on the ballot legal.
It won't say whether it's metal or not.
No, it says structure. It
Okay.
doesn't say brick, it doesn't say metal, it just says it's a structure.
But the way the district advertised that bond to the community, how was that stuff worded? You see what I mean?
Well, the first one or the second one?
Whichever one we're talking about.
The first one, it was just new high school. The second one was a new high school with full brick.
so you would like him to add up here, no wasted space in the building?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we should have any wasted space. Let's
No,
take advantage of every square foot we can.
Plain Jane.
Well, lower price tag, so I think
It
that
doesn't
covers
have to be plain Jane. I mean,
No, we have lower price tag up there, so I think that covers it.
Yeah, and I mean, when we talk plain Jane, this room right here, outside of that, is a pretty plain Jane room. But there's a ton of things that you can do in this space to take it away from that. Put art on the walls. You know, put student awards or copies of student awards on the walls, you know, whatever, try to encourage people to, you know, step up and do better. Maybe that's something that we need on the educational side. I don't know. I'm not a kid in the school these days. I know it was pretty bad back when I went. Our teachers really didn't care. Being 100% honest. So,
Well, I'll say ours do.
and I'm glad that they do.
And we can see that.
Right. Because, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I had a teacher that told me flat out she did not like me and didn't want me in her class. I did nothing to
And
her.
that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And my reply was probably not appropriate.
And you were done at that point with that teacher.
I was done with that teacher and every teacher after that because I failed, I passed that grade because it was at the end of the year. But I failed 6th grade, had to retake 6th grade, failed 7th grade, had to take summer school, failed 8th grade, had to take summer school. And it wasn't because I wasn't doing my work, I made copies. But anyways, that's enough of that. Yeah, lower price tag.
Mike, I'm sorry I lost my cool over you.
Is that?
You lost my cool.
Oh, I do that to people.
Just poking my buttons. Sorry about
It
that.
doesn't bother me at all.
But I'm passionate about what we do.
Another thing is like, we're smart enough to know that when you say it's not a tax increase, that it is a tax increase. I mean, yeah, the millage rate doesn't go up, but it's there for longer, which is multiplied against the increase that we already get. It's like compound interest, only
I
we
know.
have to pay it to you.
And I can see that perspective.
When I did the math on it, Google results. I Googled how many houses are in Bruce Creek School District. The numbers that I came up with, every household, if it was split evenly between every household would have had a tax increase of $30,000. And that's a low number. It's like 36 and over the lifetime of the bond.
Not over the life, if you didn't come to the bond 101. We see this a lot, we hear this a lot. I can tell you about it, just enough to get in trouble. The finance guys can go over those numbers with you. I know if you sit in other districts and listen to other districts, nowadays they try to give the example, it's one, Starbucks latte a month, because it's gonna go up 5%, $6. There's ways to present that are a lot different. So, I'm gonna say that's probably wrong, unless you own a lot of stuff I don't know about.
Me, I'm not a common core math kind of guy. I'm a simple math kind of guy. And I look at the total number that's presented that we're gonna have to pay back. and I divide that between how many houses are in Bridge Creek that are responsible for paying that debt.
That's,
not.
but,
But
because
that's
not
not
all house has equal value.
Correct,
It's by value of the house and what percentage.
correct. So you're gonna have people that are gonna pay $150,000 over the length of that bond, and you're gonna have people that are gonna pay $5,000 over the length of that bond.
You're gonna have people that just have land that are gonna pay different. You're gonna have,
Correct.
I don't know if there's any commercial here, there are some.
But no, there's some commercial offers there.
It doesn't mathematically work that way, and I'll let the other guy explain it, but, I mean.
Yeah, he would have to, because I mean, I don't see how.
It doesn't work that way,
but.
I understand that is a confusing part of the way our great state of Oklahoma does taxes. And even if this goes to zero, you're still gonna owe taxes, right? Because he still has, that's just a single thing, right? So that's a weird thing to explain to.